Welcome to Season 3 of The Short Score, the Team Roping Journal's weekly news update show, where you can find the latest on the sports leaders from the jackpot world of the USTRC and the World Series of Team Roping to the pro rodeo ranks. I'm Chelsea Schaefer.
And I'm Caitlin Gustov.
And we'll be your hosts. Hey everyone, welcome to The Short Score. Today, you just have me, it's Caitlin Gustov. Chelsea is on her way home from vacation. I'm really jealous. She was at the beach. But I've got some news that we gotta run through. And at the end of this, once I'm done chatting at you, you can listen to interviews with the American winners. Not just the Open winners, which was Luke Brown and Joseph Harrison, but also the Ariat World Series of Team Ropings, American Cowboy, number 12.5 and number 10.5 champions. And I'm going to tell you more about that, but at the end of this intro, you can listen to those special interviews. To start off, I want to just talk about the pro rodeo standings right now. Luke Brown and Joseph Harrison shot to the top after winning the American. They won $100,000 a man, and $50,000 of that goes to their PRCA earnings, which is awesome. So Luke currently has $67,825 to his 2020 season earnings, and Joseph Harrison has $60,360 earnings. Just so everyone knows, they teamed up because of the way that the top 10 in the world ended up last year. Their partners didn't make it, so they teamed up at the American. Joseph is roping with Wyatt Imus in the regular season, and Luke Brown has Patrick Smith in the regular season. So those two guys didn't get qualified, so that is why Luke and Joseph teamed up, which was great. It was awesome that they teamed up and they won that. In the top 4 round, they were 4:30 seconds on that steer. It was a great run. It made it look easy. Congratulations to those guys. I don't know if you guys are watching on Cowboy Channel or RFD-TV, but it was great watching in that team roping. Also, in the American Cowboy 12.5, Buddy Reed and Hamp Conlan won that, and that paid $16,500 a man. That was really good watching. Those horses looked pretty good. I know Hamp, he'll talk about in his interview, kind of missing his dally, but luckily he got it, and they got the time stopped, and they won that roping. And also the American Cowboy 10.5, that went to Octavio, Espinoza, and Erick Alvarado. You may remember that name on the backside, and you may remember his horse, because in 2017, he won the Ariat World Series of Team Ropings, number 10.5 Yeti roping. They were on the cover before, and that awesome Appy horse, that little heel horse. So, really cool to see those guys win, and they won $56,000 for that American Cowboy 10. So congratulations to all those guys at the American. It was great watching and so much fun. Also, some more pro rodeo updates. I want to just run through what's going on at Rodeo Houston. Currently, they have completed Super Series 1 and Super Series 2. And so advancing to the semifinals from Super Series 1 is Tyler Wade and Billy Jack Sabins. They earned $6,000 each. Clay Trine and Jake Long are coming in at number 2 with $3,500 a man. 3 is split with Cody Snow, Paul Leaves, and Jeff Lenigan and Tyler Worley, and those teams each got $2,750 a man. Coming in for the Super Series 2, in number 1 spot is Dustin Negaskiza and Travis Graves. They earned $6,500 a man. At the number 2 spot is Derek Begay and Corey Petska with $4,000. And third is Jake Cooper and Caleb Anderson with $3,750. And coming in at the number 4th spot in that Super Series 2 is Junior Dees and Lane Siggins with $2,500 a man. And currently, they're running Super Series 3. They finished up the first round just last night, and that's Monday, March 9th. And winning that round was Lane Hyvee and, would you guess it, Joseph Harrison. They were 6-1, and that paid $3,000 a man. Joseph Harrison might be on fire. We don't want to jinx him. We hope he makes it to the next round. We hope they do good in these next 2 rounds to take him to the semifinals. But in that first round of Super Series 3, at number 2 is Caleb Driggers and Juno Noguera with a 6.3, and that paid $2,000. Third is Kyle Dennison and Lane Mitchell with a 6.4, and that paid $1,000. And fourth is Aaron Sinigini and Kyle Lockett with an 8.4 second round, and that paid $750. So, exciting. Stay tuned. Rodeo Houston's like a marathon, so at the end of the month we'll find out who wins that, but we're going to keep you updated throughout the weeks and see what happens. We also got to run through some upcoming events in the World Series and the USTRC. So we'll start with the Ariat World Series events. Kicking off March 13th is Kinder, Louisiana qualifier. That's Watson team roping. Also on the 13th is Las Vegas, Nevada qualifier. That's Triple T Productions. And Tunica, Mississippi qualifier by JX2, which is also a USTRC roping. And then on March 14th, kicking off is Albuquerque, New Mexico qualifier, and that's Mountain States Cattle Company. And Warner, Oklahoma qualifier, and that's a 12.5 and a 9.5 only all-star team roping. So be sure to get your World Series partners and go to those ropings this weekend. And then for the USTRC, kicking off March 13th was that Tunica, Mississippi qualifier produced by JX2. It's an NFTR earnings roping, so get over there. March 14th is an NMBTRA in Las Cruces, New Mexico, also an NFTR earnings. Also, there's the Phillip Ranch Spring Break Roping in Bryan, Texas, which is an NFTR earnings, and All-Star Team Roping in Warner, Oklahoma, and that's an NFTR earnings. So be sure, get to those USTRC and Ariat World Series ropings. You don't want to miss out. And you guys, we cannot forget, because the 2020 USTRC National Finals presented by Cinch is happening in Fort Worth, Texas on April 21st through the 26th. Yes, that's April, not October, April 21st through the 26th. Pre-entries and qualified entries are $200 per roper, and they are pick only, and you can enter twice. And those entries are due by April 1st. Get those in. You don't want to pay late fees. Get those in April 1st. On-site entries are cash and credit card only, and they are $300 per roper. Pick or draw, enter twice. And don't forget about the select team roping horse sale that is being held during the roping. There's going to be awesome horses, awesome roping. You don't want to miss out on that. And if you need some practice runs, there's going to be daily jackpots held at the NRS World in Decatur, Texas, and the top 5 winners from the ropings that are happening on Monday, April 21st, through that Thursday, have a discounted entry option for the finals. So get entered, get practicing. We're going to see you there. It's going to be a fun week. And before I let you listen to these awesome interviews from the American, we can't forget that next week on The Score, we are going to have the winner of the Cinch Timed Event Championships. Chelsea's going down there. That's this weekend. The Cinch Timed Event Championships is this weekend. It's going to be fun. The Ironman. So we can't wait to see all of the updates that are going to be coming this weekend and hear from the winner next week. So without further ado, I'll quit chatting at you and let you listen to these interviews from RFD-TV's The American, champions of the Open, the Ariat World Series, American Cowboys, 12.5, and 10.5 winners. Enjoy. Hey everyone, I got Luke Brown and Joseph Harrison here. They just won RFD-TV's The American on phenomenal runs, 3 phenomenal runs. You guys are 4:03 on the first one, then you went 4:30 and 4:30 again. Break down those runs for me.
Our first steer, Jeff Hilton, who owns them, told me that it was probably one of the 2 better steers in there, and he looked like it. Mm-hmm. So I felt like if I got a good start, it would be easy to be fast, and I did. Mm-hmm. And Joseph held him fast, and it just come together. We finished fast, and then our second one, I actually picked him out when I was looking back there. I liked the looks of him, but he kind of took a little step left and didn't start real good. I had to pull and take another swing, and Joseph held that one really fast, so that worked out. And then our last one, we need to be faster than 4.6, and I thought our steer was the strongest one of all of them, which was good because it took the barrier out of the play, and I could just rock and roll and concentrate on not missing. And then Joseph held another one fast, and when I faced, I felt like we were fast, but I didn't know, and I was trying to find some times. I couldn't find the time nowhere, and then I looked at Joseph, and then I knew he done found it, and it was such a relief to know that I turned him all 3 steers and did what I said I wanted to do, and it worked out in my favor. So.
Gotcha. What about you for the heel side?
And like Luke said, we drew some really good steers, and Luther did a good job, man, every time. And that's honestly in there. I think we were just catching the steer. I don't feel like we were doing anything fancy, nothing fast. Luther just headed the horns good, set me up good, showed me off. Just made me look good. I wasn't doing anything fun, just heeling.
So, speaking of that, what kind of shot were you expecting Luke to make in that final round?
Just what he did, honestly. I know we got to be faster than 4.6 to win the rodeo, but we were faster than that on both the steers before then. So honestly, I just figured he was going to do what he did and let me stop him. So and it was awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Luke, what will 100,000 buy you on your place right now?
Oh, it'll start paying it off. That was what we, an inside joke, but that was what me and Lacey said. If I ever won it, that's what we'd do. And our goal is always to be debt free when I'm done, and at least have a house paid for and a place paid for where it would make our older age easier. So it's probably where it's going. Unless Libby wants something, she can have whatever she wants first. So.
Maybe a new horse or some toys.
Yeah, whatever. Don't matter. She can have it all.
And you've said a few times that you're ready to kind of slow down as soon as Libby and Lacey can't go with you anymore. This bonus could make that a whole lot easier. Are you thinking that's getting closer, or do you think you're going to keep going now?
No, we're definitely going to keep going, and I probably shouldn't have said that when I did, because, of course, Lacey wants to go. She loves going as much as I do, and we'll just figure out how she can go to school when she's at home, and she can go with us. And the way it is now, it's not even like we're gone that much. Summer we're gone, a little bit in the fall, a little bit in the spring, and we're at home most of the time. She's in school anyway, so no, we're going. We're out for blood. We're going.
Gotcha. Joseph, what's this money going to kind of help you out with?
And just like Luke said, it goes towards your place and your rig and everything else involved. I mean, this event's super awesome, man, and this is my 3rd time to get to come here, and honestly, it's the first time that I have caught the steer clean in this arena.
Really?
Yep. So that was pretty cool. Luther, he's caught a lot of cows here. It's the first time I've ever caught the steer clean here. So, I mean, that money, to get to rope for that kind of money is something that we dream about all the time. And then to get to rope for that money and then win, that's just flooring, man. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then I'm kind of want to switch over to horses. You've had great horses, Slim Shady, Yella, and Fast Time. Cowboy's been number 1 for you, been there throughout everything, like your biggest wins at Cheyenne and the BFI. Why do you choose him today?
I actually have another horse that I bought from Caleb Driggers right after the finals that I actually bought him for this rodeo.
Oh, wow.
I thought he'd be really good in the winter, and for sure the American, and he come up a little bit sore the other day and had an abscess, and so then I was kind of leaning back toward Cowboy, and I went and rode them both the other day, and I don't know what it was, but something, I don't know if I was being whatever, but by him getting hurt right before the finals and just kind of, and then he did so good. Me and Joseph made some runs, and it felt so easy, and just like it did at the finals. And when I got here, I brought both of them, saddled both of them, did everything, but I kept leaning toward him. And it's funny because I've had him for a long time, and I never even thought about riding him in a short setup. He's always been a long score type horse, because he will be by far the fastest horse I'll ever own, sure. And then before the finals last year, my other one passed away, and so I was stuck riding him. But I kind of wanted to anyway. I actually went and practiced one day, and Trevor was there, and he point blank told me, you need to ride that horse. And then I was like, okay, you said it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
you listen when he talks. And so then that gave me more confidence, and he did so good there. And I don't know, it was on the back of my mind, but I bought the other horse wanting to ride him here, and then thank goodness I listened to my gut, so it worked out.
And I feel like Cowboy's been pretty good for you, not just you, but your family as well.
Yeah, he has been part of the family. Like when I bought him, I can remember the day sitting at the gas station thinking I was giving too much money for him, and it was nothing. I mean, nothing hardly. And he's a good horse. He wants to be with you. He's a good-natured, and I don't think I've ever spanked him or got on to him about nothing because you just feel terrible about it. And with all his injuries and stuff like that, and we have the best vet in the world. He has put his heart and soul into saving him and much less bringing him back. So he don't have no idea how much I'm thankful for him. And yeah, he's part of the family. Which him and Slim would never leave anyway. So there ain't enough money in the world to buy neither one of them. But yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Joseph, you're on Main Street Boone.
Yes, ma'am.
Phenomenal horse.
Yes, ma'am.
Been clutch for you. Talk about how that horse has been clutch in your career.
Well, I mean, he's just one of those once in a lifetime kind of horses. You don't have to be riding or scoring or any of that. You just get to be roping because he don't mess up. He's 16 years old now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that sounds so old. He's by a Pepper Boone's Mall out of Playboy's Ruby. He's like Luke said, he's kind of a family member, man. He'll die right there at my place, and he'll get to live out the last good while, just doing whatever he wants to do.
That's awesome. How long have you had Main Street?
Man, I guess this year is the start of 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
So he's been there through all the showing and the rodeos and jackpotting.
I won third on him. I just showed him by accident the first year that we showed him, and I won third on him at the World Show. And then the next year was accident again. We didn't mean to show him. We just rode him at a couple of those like Fort Worth because it pays good, and he got qualified. And I won second on him that year. I showed him 2 years and won third on him once and second on him once. He kind of got me jump started, I'd say there. And then I've run 29 steers at the Thomas and Mack now, or 30, and I've run 29 of them on him. So he'd obviously be my pick if I had to pick one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And obviously, you guys aren't regular partners. You guys got teamed up with the way he doesn't want to rope with you.
Never wants to rope.
Because you guys got teamed up because of the way the standings fell last year. Kind of talk about that. And you guys practiced right before coming here, but you guys have practiced together a bunch. Kind of talk about just roping together.
Well, like I said, we buddied together all year last year, and he, roping with Paul, and him and Paul are tight, and they're not afraid to talk to me when I need it and tell me the truth. And Chad, he'll point blank tell me exactly what I need to do when I need to do it. And so, I mean, you respect him so much for what he's done and who he is, and he's good-hearted. He wants everybody to win. You don't ever feel like he's telling you something to what you want to hear. He's telling you what he thinks. And and before the finals last year, we had a bunch of steers, and he came down to Chad's, and me and Chad and him and Paul, we roped together for a month and practiced for it. So, I mean, we've been together for. I mean, we knew everything. Yeah, it wasn't I knew for sure. I just need to do my job. He was so excited about the American, and it's pretty cool the way it worked out, man. Couldn't do any better.
Awesome. Do you have anything to add for that?
I have been super pumped about this particular rodeo ever since I knew that I was going to get to rope with Luke, because Luther has been so close several times to kicking this rodeo's butt, and obviously you want to win this rodeo, but I knew that Luke's going to win this rodeo eventually, and I'm just glad that he waited on me. That's perfect.
Got to team up and get the win together.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But pulling across the line on your second steer, what was kind of going through your head right there? What kind of happened in the box that made you have to pull?
The steer was pretty dead. Like I even rode up one time because Jade was pushing and he was trying to get him pushed up there, but he kind of wouldn't get to the front. And I did that at Fort Worth. I had a chance to win Fort Worth. I made it back, and the steer did the same thing, and it fouled my mind up pretty bad. But today I knew what I was going to do, and pulling at the barrier doesn't bother me. I've done it my whole life. I'm better off to pull than be late. So I don't freak out. It's almost like a little self. I would rather pull than probably just leave there riding. I don't know. I've always been that way. I amateur rodeo my whole life, and it just seemed like it's just what I've always done, and it never panics me. It just I know I got to get back to the front before I throw, and as long as I have that in my mind, is to ride forward. As long as I'm riding forward, it seems to don't bother me. Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never thought about being comfortable pulling across the barrier. Like when I do it, I'm like, oh crap, I'm late. That's interesting. And Joseph, I'm just gonna bring it up because I remember how excited you were at the NFR when you won those 2 rounds, hooping and hollering. How does that excitement compare to this excitement?
Man, winning is fun. I mean, it's fun. One of my favorite movies of all time is Bull Durham, and one of my favorite scenes of the movie is they called him Meat. Calvin the Nuke Lelouch is going down the bus, climbing on all the seats, and he tells Kevin Costner that he loves winning, and then it's so much better than losing. That's just it, man. Winning is fun. I mean, the sport's fun anyway, but winning at places like this and NFR and those kind of places like Cheyenne, that was just one of the most awesome things that ever happened to me in my life. You know what I mean? And my wife was super pumped. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I mean, when you get in the truck and you're both just driving down the road afterwards, squealing like little kids, that's the fun stuff, man. That's the stuff that, I'm gonna ride this right here for so long. I'm gonna be annoying, just because it's so fun.
So before this interview, you mentioned you're gonna put this big check on your TV.
Yes, on the face of my TV. That way, every time you try to turn on the TV, this is all you see. This is all that matters. Luke doesn't have a TV. So.
Luke doesn't watch. That's why Luke does how good. As good as
we watch
does.
TV, don't we?
You don't have TV.
Tell them what our favorite show is.
Do you have a
Live
favorite
PD,
show?
man.
Oh man. And so coming off of this, how's this gonna help you guys going into, the regular season?
Oh, it is definitely a weight lifted off our shoulders, but at the same time, we got to get both our partners there. So it is just like it didn't happen as far as that concerned. We got to continue on this plan and try harder than I've ever tried, and expect good things, and so we're gonna make it happen.
Gotcha. Same.
Yeah, man. At one point, just like Luke said, you get to take a deep breath and go, whew. That helped a bunch. But at the same time, your guy's still as far away as he was before we wrote that one. So I'm like Luke, just got to hustle and do a good job for him and make it happen.
Gotcha. And you're open with Patrick this year. How is that going, and how are you guys getting ready for the rest of the season coming up?
Man, it has went really well. We've practiced hard. We've practiced right. He's been a great partner, and he has rode phenomenal. We had a chance to win Fort Worth. We had a chance to win San Antonio, and I missed both of them. We've done good to jackpots. We got a little bit won anyway, and it's been going good. And he's got me more determined probably than ever, because he's wanting it bad, and it's exciting to get to rope with somebody that probably wants it more or as much as you do. So not that none of my partners have never not. I've had great partners my whole life. I couldn't have ever asked for anything better than what's happened in my career. So but yeah, it's exciting, and we're going at it.
That's awesome. Rodeo Houston next, or?
Yep, Rodeo Houston next week. So
hopefully win big there, and then Patrick will have some
That's
money
right.
won.
Yep.
Awesome. And you're open with Wyatt IMS this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about your guys' run going into the season.
Man, he is doing so good. Like we made the short round at San Angelo the other day. Didn't get a very good steer in the short round, but his roping has gotten so good, man. He's doing such a good job, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. We're starting to kind of put us a run together as far as I know where they're going. You know, he's setting me up good enough. I know where they're going, and I can kind of get a good look each time at the steers. And he's had a little horse trouble the last just a little bit. That good horse, the race horse, he had a little trouble, and then his mare, they had a accidental, had a wreck the other day on their way home from San Angelo, but he ain't letting it slow him down. He's rocking and rolling, man. He's got several other head horses, and he's doing a good job, so I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Do you have him at Rodeo Houston, or?
No, ma'am. Unfortunately, he didn't get in there. I'm roping with Lane Ivy at Rodeo Houston.
And you guys have roped together before?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so
yes, ma'am.
It'll be good.
We roped at Fort Worth, made the short round, and we placed around there, 7,500. And we didn't do any good at San Antonio. Neither one of us could catch, so that was terrible. But I'm looking forward to Houston. Houston's an awesome rodeo, and just to get to go is good enough for me. So I'm looking forward to it.
And just like Luke, that extra money, if you win that's gonna.
I'm actually mad at Luke, so we can put this out there right now, because I didn't realize that Pat wasn't going to get to go to Houston. I just thought all along that Pat was going to get to go to Houston, and we've got to rope with Luke there too. And there again, like, he didn't call me nothing, So for the record, I'm mad at Luke.
So everyone knows. All right, well, I don't want to hold you guys any longer. I know you guys want to go celebrate with your families and enjoy the night, so thank you. Yeah, you guys are headed to Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, enjoy the ride with your families in the truck, and congratulations, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, hey everyone, I am sitting here with the American Cowboy 12.5 champions, Buddy Reed and Hamp Conlan. They just won the Ariat World Series of Team Roping, American Cowboy 12.5 roping. Is it real yet, you guys?
Yeah, I think it's sunk in now, yeah.
How about you?
It's real after I finally got a dally.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so walk me through that run right there at the AT&T Stadium. We'll go from the head side first.
The steers overall were a lot slower than I kind of expected them to be, so I don't know, them guys before us hadn't done much, so I just kind of took my regular safe throw, and he heeled like he always does usually.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about the heel side. How did that run pan out?
Hey, when the cannons went off earlier, we all about died. Our horses were headed.
Almost ended up in the parking lot.
They were headed south.
I was going to say, I got ran over.
Yeah, it was
there.
wild. That was wild.
Mine was literally headed through the foyer.
So, with Buddy heading, all you got to do is look at the feet. That's it. You don't worry about anything but just looking at the feet. I was looking at the feet, and then I couldn't find the saddle horn. But hey, luckily I had a 37-foot cactus heel rope that
I got to plug Barry Berg
exactly.
in there.
Wishing
Thanks
he
to
had a
Barry.
horn knot.
Yeah, thanks to Barry. Yes.
Man.
That extra 2 foot came in handy today, definitely.
Love it.
Barry's definitely my man.
I love it.
Yep.
And you guys just split $16,500. How is that going to kind of help you guys going down the road or just in life?
Oh man, and money's always good. I mean, it's always bills to pay. And it's already spent probably, or we got it anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. We get to go to a couple more team ropings.
Right.
Yeah. Enter
that's
up
the
a
best.
little bit more.
Yes, yes, definitely.
That's awesome. So, let's talk about your road to the American. Where did it start? And I feel like there's a good story behind this.
We actually, I talked him in it. We actually entered one time, Stephenville in July. Got lucky and won it. And then you have to match somebody. And I don't know if you want the long version or the short version, but we were very, very lucky to be here because we was not. It came down to the last steer in the match. The guys we were matching, all they had to do was stop the clock because we had a no time on our first one. Healer lost his rope, and we had to be like 30 something on our last one, and good Lord was looking after us that day.
So it was just kind of holding your breath at that moment.
Oh yeah, I mean it was all but over. I mean, like I told him, you might ought to get off and draw X in the dirt or something because we're done. You know, I mean,
with me healing, we're always holding our breath.
Well, them guys we were roping, they were roping really smart. I mean, they wasn't gonna do nothing. They wasn't gonna do nothing dumb. It was just one of them deals. I mean, it happens to everybody. Your rope's here long enough, you're gonna lose your rope, and it happened to him that day.
This is the third time we've roped for this American deal, and this is the third heel horse I rode.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, actually, in the World
deal.
Series qualifier that day, we were
horse.
on our third one. We're really good on two, and the seal horse kind of dribbled forward and lost his rope to beat high team back. So he goes and jumps on another horse that he used to own and rode in the match. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So talk about those horses you rode at the qualifier. Names and ages included, if you know.
The first one I rode in Stephenville, his name is Spot, and I think he is. We really don't know how old he is. He's from 17 to 18 to 19.
No
Still
papers
a really
or?
good horse. They got lost somewhere.
Gotcha.
Really good horse. And then I borrowed a horse I used to own that Tommy Kuzian owns now, and his name is Ricochet, and I think he's 14 now.
Gotcha.
And I bought this horse I'm riding tonight, Tuesday,
Oh my gosh.
from a guy from Louisiana, and his name is Jazz, and he's 9 years old.
So how'd you find this horse?
Sean Vargas,
Sean Vargas.
the horse broker.
Man.
Yeah.
So how did he feel tonight?
He did great. It's the healer, the guy riding him that always struggles.
A little malfunction from
Yes,
the rider.
yes, always. It's always the rider's fault. Horse always does his job. We always like to blame somebody, right?
Oh yeah. Sometimes it happens, you know.
Yeah.
And talk about the head horse you were on tonight.
It's a black 13-year-old gill, and I bought him about a year ago, and he's just a good, solid head horse. Just lets you win, and he's easy and he's good.
What's his name?
Black.
Black.
He's black.
I like it.
I got an original name for him.
His name's Black.
Because I'm not very good at getting their names, and so
As long as they work
usually
it,
whoever
right?
I bought them from, I call them that name.
Yeah.
Or the color they are. That's pretty much how my horse names go.
Did you ride him at the qualifier? Or?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
So he's kind of been on this whole American trip for you.
He's the only one I got right now.
That's awesome. And so, kind of talk to me. I mean, you guys roped right before the open ropers. Kind of talk about being able to back in the boxes here and having those guys right behind you guys. They're sitting in the boxes. They're on the line. Like, how cool is that?
It is pretty cool. You kind of got to stay in your game because, I mean, you're all tempted to come over the chute, but, I mean, you just got to stick to your deal, especially when, I don't know what was winning at 9 or whatever them one guys were, 9 or 10. I mean, you got to stick to your game plan, and even though nobody the best in the world sitting there watching you do it, so
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes all they got to do is go catch, and they will.
Yeah.
So.
What about you? How did it feel for you?
Kind of the same deal. I mean, not only are the best in the world watching, but everybody on TV, all your friends have been talking about, oh man, you're going to be on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Like Buddy said, you just got to stick to your. With me, with him heading, all you do is just watch the feed.
Yeah.
That's it. Just watch the feed. And then think about dialing. If you think about dialing before you throw, you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah, take it one step at a
baby
time.
steps, definitely. Yes.
And, buddy, where are you from?
I'm from Lorena, a little town just south of Waco.
Okay, Texas. What about you?
Big town of Lampasas, Texas.
Lampasas, Texas.
Everybody knows where that is.
Oh, yeah. And so what do you guys do for a living? I mean, team roping's not your job?
I ranch and also I judge, bull riding judge for ABBI
Okay.
and some other buck and bull associations.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and broker a lot of hay in the summer, so just ranching stuff, on some cattle.
Just a minute.
Try to rope all we can.
Gotcha. This will kind of help out with
Yeah.
all the business, too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And what about you?
Me and my wife own 8 McDonald's.
Okay.
So this is my release.
Yeah.
Team
Just
rope
go
is
team
definitely
rope.
Our release. Yep. And she won't let me quit until this one's right here is old enough to rope.
And what's his name and
Hudson,
age?
and he's 5 years old, and he's going to be a header or a healer, or maybe he said rope calves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hudson's his name?
Hudson is his
Hey, Hudson,
name.
can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to do with this paycheck that your dad just won?
Say buy a new road.
Yeah? That's sweet. A cactus?
Of course.
Better go call Barry, huh?
That's right. Only cactus.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Caitlin here. I have the RFD-TV's The American Ariat World Series of Team Roping, the American Cowboy number 10.5 champions, Octavio Espinoza and Erick Alvarado. You guys just split $56,000 at the AT&T Stadium. How real is that or unreal is that?
It's crazy feeling. I guess I've been in a similar situation, but this place just outgrows it so much. Of course, the amount's not the same, but just the atmosphere that we're getting the rope in is just crazy, real crazy. But it's a great. Hopefully, it gets a lot bigger because it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have anything to add?
He needs an interpreter.
Okay, you're good.
¿Cómo
That you
se
just won
siente
this.
de haberse ganado la lanzada esta? Very happy. Speechless. Speechless, a little bit.
That's awesome.
Little surreal moment, I guess.
That's awesome. And so, like you said, you've won big money before. We're going to jump to that real quick. You won in 2017 the Ariat World Series finale, the Yeti number 10.5. Talk about winning that and then coming here and winning this big roping.
Well, honestly, I took a big downfall.
You did.
After Vegas, I maybe won $7,000, and it was just my horse wasn't working because my works weren't right. I mean, you name it, and it went wrong. Finally teamed up with him in Vegas, and we got to qualify, and we broke really good ever since then.
That's awesome.
So it's sure life-changing, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially the last 2 years I've had.
That's awesome. And so we have to talk about it. You've been our cover boy at the Team Roping Journal on that phenomenal app horse. Talk about that app you're on.
He's right about 14 now, 15, I think. He's been great ever since I got him. I got him as a yearling. He was given to me. Comes from Mexico. He was given to me by an uncle, and I actually did not want that horse.
Really?
I did not want it because he wasn't at.
Yep.
So my dad started breaking him as a 3-year-old. And I went to roping and waved off like 5 in a row. I used to hit. And after that roping, I said, you know what? I'm going to try heeling and I'm going to get on that horse. And he's been good to me since.
It's worked. And what do you call him?
Stud Muffin.
Stud Muffin.
That's
I
his
couldn't
name.
remember. Stud Muffin. And what horse were you on?
¿Qué caballo? ¿Cómo se llama el caballo suyo? Squirrel.
Squirrel.
His name is Squirrel.
What does he like about Squirrel?
¿Qué le gusta de ese caballo? Everything he hits, he heals, he's fast, pretty calm. He is really good looking too.
Yeah.
¿Cuántos años tiene? He's 8 years old.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna ask both of you. We're gonna start with the heading. So anyway,
Yeah, I
both.
got you.
Yeah. No, you're good. Understandable. Break down your run, like from start to finish. Just break down that run for me.
Diga nomás cómo estuvo ese run. Como cuando entró el cajón, qué es lo que miró, el novillo no se acomodaba, qué es lo que miraba usted.
Nomás el novillo estaba muy atrás, bastante atrás, ¿no?
The steer wouldn't push up. He was like 1.5 feet off the gate, and he kept trying to push him up. Every time he would push him up, my horse would dart out of there, and then I'd have to hold him back. But when he did break, he broke to the right, and I was late because I was pulling him back. But other than that, it was pretty smooth.
Pretty smooth.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, I was filming the runs, and I noticed you got out good. You were
I was
a
way
little
late.
behind. I was like, "Where's the healer?"
Oh yeah, so was I. Trust me, because I guess he like hit the gates or something, and he darted out of there. I was pulling back, and he nodded, so I was already like 2 strikes behind.
Man. That's hilarious.
Luckily, he handles real good, so I got
Luckily, he
there.
handles real good. You got there. You cleaned up 2 feet. You guys were at the beginning of the pack too. 3rd team out, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Sitting, waiting to watch it pan out. How did that feel?
I mean, I don't want to say that about anybody.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody. I don't wish on nobody to miss, but that gives me a huge relief. Seeing the first team miss,
Yeah.
and unfortunately they did in this circumstance, but it helped me calm down way more. Because I don't know, when I see somebody miss, it just go catch.
Yeah.
Don't try to be fast. Don't cut yourself. Just go out there and catch it. That's what we did.
And what about Octavio? Same thing.
Estando tan pronto, por decir, siendo el tercer equipo, ¿cómo se sentía usted? ¿Nervioso? ¿Le gusta ver a todos? O sea, ¿le gusta lanzar primero y luego que la hacen después de usted? ¿O cómo?
No, nervioso no, pero sí estaba, pues no quería mistearle.
He says he wasn't really nervous. He
Yeah.
just was concentrating on not missing.
Gotcha. And so, how did your American journey start? Where did you get qualified at? And
Well, I actually got qualified in Hamilton at the beginning of the year. We went to Vegas, and I asked him, I was like, do you want to row? And we did. We placed very low, but that evening, John English called and he said, hey, you got 2 qualifications. What do you want to do? And I said, well, it's like, I don't know. What do I have to do? And he's like, well, you're going to have to rope against yourself. And I was like, well, okay.
so that's how
Yes.
they bring you guys back to those,
Well,
what do they call them? Or no?
No. About 5 minutes later, I get a call from him again.
Ah.
And he says, Erick, no, I'm sorry. You can only rope once.
Okay.
He goes, choose your header. Lex Urias, a very good friend of mine. He was actually the first person I qualified with. So I called him first.
Gotcha.
I just felt it was better for him to get the call first. He was at a show somewhere in Vegas. He didn't answer. So John, of course, needed an answer. So I called
Right
him
away.
right away, and he answered. So.
You got the call. And so you guys are here. What is this money gonna do for you guys right now?
Huge relief for me right now. Like I said, roping hasn't treated me very well the last few years, and work is slowing down a lot. I work in the oil field, so I mean, it's just a reliever right now.
Gotcha.
Ese cheque que se ganó, ¿qué significa para usted?
Significa mucho, nunca había ganado tanto dinero.
A lot of relief too. He says he's never won a check that big. He's just excited to win it.
That's awesome.
For the family, of course. Horses, keep roping.
Yeah,
We
keep
have to
roping,
keep going.
keep entering. And so you work in the oil field. Where are you from? Like where?
I am from Midland, Texas.
Midland, Texas. And then where are you from, Octavio? And what do you do for work?
He's from Lubbock.
Lubbock,
Texas, yes, and he does concrete.
Concrete. Name of the job or name of the company?
La
Or?
compañía, ¿cómo se llama?
Espinoza.
He owns it. He owns
Gotcha.
it.
Okay, so you own your company. That's awesome.
Espinoza
Well,
Concrete.
maybe you can go home and tell everyone else to work. You can take a week off.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys and congratulations. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thanks everyone for listening, and tune in next week because we're going to have an episode of the short score and the score, and you don't want to miss out.